MMA Plus here live at Cage Warriors 74, and he is back. It's Tom Breese, victorious upon his return. How long has it been? Nearly 2 years now?
Yes, nearly 2 years now, yeah.
Take us through some of the emotions you've been going through this week coming into this return.
Yeah, you know what, I've been, like, during the fight camp, I felt great, you know, and coming over and Mold Peter pulling out, you know, I was very disappointed because I was geared up for Mold Peter. I visualised it a lot, and then change of opponent, didn't really know too much about him. You know, my coach was supposed to come over, but because I might not have been able to fight and stuff, he ended up cancelling his flight, and you know, I'm just happy to get the job done.
You've fought replacement opponents before, and you've dealt with it without a problem. Yeah. With this, you know, being the big return, how much of a spanner in the works was it? How much of a weight on your mind was it?
Yeah, it was disappointing because mainly, you know, I'd visualised Mold Peter a lot, and you know, his big comeback fight. I haven't fought for 2 years. You know, with the whole TriStar thing, people had really been talking about me a lot as, like, you know, a top prospect and whatnot. And you know, there's a lot of pressure, but I felt more nervous this week than I did when I got in there. When I got in there, you know, it was just I was trying to just pace myself. I got a bit tired and I ring rust, but you know, I'm only 7-0. I got a long career ahead of me. You know, hopefully.
You talk about, as like you said, we all say how much of a prospect you are. With the time out, how frustrating is it, even, you know, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, how frustrating is it to know that you're going to be out for this amount of time when you know that people have been saying these things about you and you want to keep that momentum going? Yeah,
it's very, I mean, the most frustrating thing is, as MMA is my whole life, so I wasn't able to do what I love. And I kind of think, having the time out, you kind of, your own mind plays tricks on you as to what it's really like in there. I got in there and it was not as bad as my mind was making it out to be, and you know, I'm going to come back a much better fighter from this.
Talk us through the fights. What was your thoughts on it? It seemed like you were quite keen to tie up. As soon as you tied up, you looked like you wanted to take it down. Is that what you were going for?
Ideally, I wanted to keep it on the feet and use my jab, but I kind of was throwing my shots and my timing didn't really feel there, and you know, I was probably making mistakes that I wouldn't make in the gym. You know, my distance, my kicks were a bit more successful, but he was catching them, so I didn't set them up properly. And when he tied up, I thought, you know, let him burn himself out and I'll turn him. And he was quite strong. I knew he couldn't take me down. My takedown defence is pretty solid. I think I got one takedown, which, you know, I'm confident in my grappling as a whole. I have to work on that because, you know, guys at the top level, they're going to get on top of you and hurt you. So,
to be honest, 1 minute in the second round, I think you put on more head movement than what I'd seen all night. But you thought you were quite ring rusty in that.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I was ring rusty. I couldn't really get my range, and I've been preparing for a shorter opponent. This guy was taller than what I'm used to. So yeah, it was different. You know, but the fight went how it went.
You got to the rear naked choke eventually. Talk us through that.
Yes, I remember taking his back. I knew I was winning the fight, but you know, I want to go in there. Ideally, I want to go in there and show, you know, I'm different level to this guy, and you know, the guy put up a good fight, and he managed to control, put me on the cage a couple of times. But I wanted that finish. You know, I've won all my fights by stoppage, and this is another fight that I've stopped another opponent.
Would you have beaten yourself up if you couldn't get to the finish?
Yes, I would have been annoyed, you know, but eventually I'm going to come across someone that I'm not going to be able to fight to finish, and a guy that's going to really put it on me. So, you know, I got to stay mentally strong.
You're a regular face at TriStar now. Can you see yourself moving out there full time someday?
Yeah, I pretty much am now. You know, I'm going back there in 2 weeks. They're my family now. You know, Faraz Zahabi, Eric O'Keefe. You know, those guys give me extra motivation to do this sport. You know, the time that they put into me.
Are there any future aspirations of maybe leaving Birmingham for Canada and living in Canada?
Yeah, that's the plan. You know, I pretty much live in Montreal at the moment, but obviously I got to sort out my citizenship and stuff. But that's my dream, you know, to move out there and be a full-time fighter and see how life is. You know, I mean, I got some very good friends over there.
Moving forward, as we discussed, you know how highly rated you are. How quickly do you want to get to that title shot?
You know what? As long as I'm fighting, you know, I'm happy. Say if I got in there and I beat this guy with ease, you know, maybe I could be like, you know, give me a title shot. I'm at a certain level, but you know, this wasn't like an easy fight at all. You know, the guy, I respect the guy a lot, and I got a lot to improve. So I got There's other guys that probably are due a title more than me. You know, Danny Roberts, he's been looking great. He's had like four or five wins. So I'll take my time. You know, I'm in the queue.
Yeah. So now you're back. You're excited to get back, and now you're here, and you know you're fit. You're perfectly happy to, you know, take it a little bit slow, so to speak.
Yeah, you know, as I say, I'm just going to get back to training. Whoever cage rules give me, I'll fight. You know, as long as my coaches are happy with it, that's all I'm doing. I'm not thinking about title shots or anything. I'm just thinking about my next opponent, getting better as a fighter and a martial artist.
Excellent. Yeah. Congratulations again. Thanks for your time. This is MMA Plus at Cage Warriors 74.